Are you between 70 and 80 and still accomplishing things that most people your age have given up on or never even attempt? I'm about to reveal 8 remarkable abilities that fewer than 5% of people in their 70s and 80s still maintain, and if you're doing these things, you truly are exceptional and likely to live longer and healthier than your peers. These aren't just impressive accomplishments, they're scientifically validated markers of what researchers call successful aging, that predict not just longevity, but quality of life, independence, and cognitive health well into your 90s. The 8th thing on this list is so rare that researchers use it as a primary indicator of successful aging, and those who maintain this ability live an average of 7 years longer than those who don't. Stella from Minneapolis just turned 78 and continues to do 6 of these 8 remarkable things that most of her friends stopped doing years ago. Her doctor calls her a statistical outlier, and researchers who study exceptional aging would consider her a prime example of what's possible when you refuse to accept limitations that others assume are inevitable. The difference between Stella and her peers isn't luck or genetics, it's her determination to keep challenging herself in ways most people abandon. Thing 1. Learning and mastering new technology. If you're still learning new apps, devices, and digital skills in your 70s or 80s, you're in the top 3% of your age group and demonstrating cognitive flexibility that most people lose decades earlier. MIT research on cognitive flexibility shows that seniors who continue learning new technology maintain better executive function, memory, and problem-solving abilities compared to those who avoid digital learning. The process of mastering new technology requires your brain to form new neural pathways, adapt to changing interfaces, and integrate complex information in ways that keep your mind sharp and adaptable. Dr. Sherry Turkle's studies at MIT found that seniors who embrace technology learning show measurably younger brain patterns on cognitive tests and maintain independence longer than their technology-avoiding peers. Most seniors stop learning new technology after age 70, citing confusion, frustration, or fear of making mistakes as reasons to avoid digital advancement. This technology avoidance creates a dangerous cycle where lack of practice leads to further cognitive decline and increased dependence on others for basic tasks. When you can't use smartphones, computers, or modern appliances effectively, you lose access to telehealth services, online banking, social media connections with family, and emergency communication systems that could save your life. The digital divide after age 75 often determines whether seniors maintain independence or require assistance with activities that younger generations handle effortlessly. Technology avoidance leads to social isolation, financial vulnerability, and dependence on others for basic tasks that technology could help you manage independently. When you can't video chat with grandchildren, order groceries online, or access telehealth services, you miss opportunities for connection, convenience, and care that could dramatically improve your quality of life. Research from the Pew Research Center shows that seniors who avoid technology have higher rates of depression and loneliness because they can't access the digital social networks that increasingly connect families and communities. The inability to use basic technology also makes you vulnerable to financial exploitation and limits your access to important information and services. You can maintain your technological edge by spending just 15 minutes daily exploring one new feature on your phone, computer, or tablet. Choose one new app each month to master completely, whether it's for communication, entertainment, or practical tasks like banking or shopping. Ask younger family members to teach you specific skills rather than doing tasks for you, and practice these skills regularly until they become automatic. George from Austin learned video calling at 79 and now maintains daily contact with his children and grandchildren across the country, keeping his relationships strong and his mind engaged. Start learning something new today, because every technological skill you master keeps your brain young, adaptable, and ready for whatever changes come next. Thing 2. Maintaining a regular exercise routine. Do you still exercise at least 30 minutes most days of the week with structured, intentional physical activity that challenges your body and maintains your strength? Harvard Medical School studies show that only 2% of seniors over 75 maintain regular, structured exercise routines that include cardiovascular, strength, and flexibility training. The vast majority reduce their physical activity to occasional walks or gentle stretching, missing the intensity needed to maintain muscle mass, bone density, and cardiovascular health. Dr. Aimin Lee's research at Harvard found that seniors who maintain vigorous exercise routines have the physical capacity of people 20 years younger and experience significantly slower rates of functional decline as they age. Regular exercise after age 75 requires exceptional commitment because your body recovers more slowly, workouts feel more challenging, and minor injuries take longer to heal. Most seniors gradually reduce their exercise intensity and frequency, telling themselves that gentle movement is enough to maintain health. However, research consistently shows that moderate to vigorous exercise is necessary to prevent the rapid muscle loss, bone weakening, and cardiovascular decline that accelerate after age 75. The seniors who maintain regular exercise routines demonstrate remarkable self-discipline and body awareness that sets them apart from their more sedentary peers. A sedentary lifestyle after age 75 leads to rapid muscle loss, bone weakness, increased fall risk, and loss of independence that can require assisted living within just a few years. When you stop challenging your muscles and cardiovascular system regularly, you experience what researchers call accelerated functional decline, where your physical capacity drops dramatically in a short period. Johns Hopkins research shows that inactive seniors lose up to 8% of their muscle mass per year after age 75, compared to 3% in those who exercise regularly. This muscle loss directly translates to difficulty with stairs, getting out of chairs, carrying groceries, and maintaining balance during daily activities. You can maintain your exercise excellence by committing to daily movement that includes cardiovascular, strength, and flexibility components. Schedule your exercise like a medical appointment that cannot be missed, and vary your activities to prevent boredom and overuse injuries. Focus on functional movements like squats, step-ups, and balance exercises that directly translate to daily activities you want to maintain. Helen from Portland still does her daily yoga routine at 82 and demonstrates better balance and flexibility than people half her age because she never stopped challenging her body. Exercise today with purpose and intensity, because every day of inactivity ages your body faster and moves you closer to dependence rather than independence. Thing 3. Driving safely and confidently safe. Confident driving after age 75 indicates exceptional cognitive function, physical capability, and spatial awareness that many of your peers have already lost. Johns Hopkins research shows that driving ability serves as one of the most accurate markers of overall health and functional capacity in seniors, because it requires complex integration of vision, reaction time, decision-making, and motor skills. The ability to navigate traffic, judge distances, react to unexpected situations, and manage the multitasking demands of driving demonstrates cognitive and physical abilities that decline significantly in most people after age 75. Dr. Cynthia Owsley's studies show that seniors who drive safely past age 80 have measurably better executive function and processing speed than those who stop driving earlier. Many seniors self-restrict their driving due to vision changes, slower reaction times, medication effects, or lack of confidence in their abilities, gradually limiting themselves to familiar routes and daylight hours. This self-restriction often signals the beginning of broader functional decline and social isolation as transportation becomes increasingly difficult. When you stop driving confidently, you lose access to medical appointments, social activities, shopping, and emergency services that require reliable transportation. The psychological impact of losing driving privileges often proves as devastating as the practical limitations, representing a major loss of independence and adult autonomy. Loss of driving independence severely limits your mobility, increases social isolation, and forces dependence on others for transportation to essential services and social activities. When you can't drive yourself to medical appointments, grocery stores, or social gatherings, you become dependent on family members, friends, or expensive transportation services that may not always be available. Research from the Outlier Foundation shows that seniors who stop driving experience increased depression rates and faster cognitive decline due to reduced stimulation and social interaction. The loss of driving ability often precipitates the need for assisted living or more intensive family support systems. You can maintain your driving skills by practicing defensive driving techniques, taking refresher courses annually, and having regular assessments of your vision, reaction time, and cognitive function. Practice challenging driving situations like parking, merging, and night driving in safe environments to maintain your confidence and skills. Stay current with traffic laws and technology changes in vehicles, and be honest about any limitations while working to address them proactively. Arthur from Dallas still drives confidently at 79 because he takes annual driving courses and practices difficult maneuvers regularly in empty parking lots. Maintain your driving skills actively because transportation independence is often the key to maintaining all other aspects of independent living. Thing 4. Managing complex finances independently. Can you still handle your banking, investments, bill paying, and financial planning without help? Understanding complex financial products and making sound monetary decisions? University of Pennsylvania research shows that financial management capacity requires complex cognitive abilities, including working memory, executive function, and numerical reasoning that decline significantly in most people after age 75. The ability to manage investments, understand insurance policies, detect financial scams, and make sophisticated financial decisions demonstrates cognitive sharpness that places you in an elite category. Dr. Jason Karlowish's studies found that financial capacity often serves as an early indicator of cognitive decline, making continued financial independence a strong predictor of overall mental acuity. Financial management after age 75 requires understanding increasingly complex systems, technologies, and regulations while maintaining the cognitive flexibility to adapt to changing financial landscapes. Most seniors gradually transfer financial responsibilities to adult children or financial advisors because the complexity becomes overwhelming or they lose confidence in their decision-making abilities. The ability to navigate online banking, understand investment portfolios, and make sound financial decisions requires sustained attention, working memory, and analytical thinking that many seniors find increasingly difficult to maintain. Financial vulnerability in seniors leads to devastating losses from scams, poor investment decisions, and exploitation by family members or caregivers who take advantage of cognitive decline. When you can't manage your finances independently, you become vulnerable to financial abuse that costs American seniors over $36 billion annually, according to the National Council on Aging. Loss of financial capacity also means losing control over major life decisions, including where you live, what care you receive, and how your assets are managed. The psychological impact of financial dependence often proves as damaging as the monetary losses, representing a fundamental loss of adult autonomy and self-determination. You can stay financially sharp by using technology to manage your accounts, reviewing all financial statements weekly, and continuing to educate yourself about financial products and strategies. Challenge your numerical reasoning regularly by calculating tips, comparing prices, and analyzing investment performance without relying on others. Stay informed about financial scams and fraud tactics that target seniors, and maintain active involvement in all financial decisions rather than delegating them to others. Marilyn from Phoenix manages her own investment portfolio at 76 and consistently outperforms professional advisors because she stays informed and engaged with her financial decisions. Stay financially engaged today because your economic security and independence depend on maintaining these complex cognitive abilities. Thing 5. Cooking complex meals from scratch. Preparing elaborate meals with multiple components, precise timing, and complex techniques requires planning, multitasking, and physical stamina that most seniors abandon in favor of simpler food preparation. Mayo Clinic research shows that cooking ability correlates strongly with functional independence because it requires integration of cognitive planning, physical coordination, sensory awareness, and time management skills. The ability to shop for ingredients, plan meal preparation sequences, manage multiple cooking processes simultaneously, and execute complex recipes demonstrates executive function and practical abilities that predict overall independence. Dr. Julie Oman's studies found that seniors who continue cooking complex meals maintain better cognitive function and physical abilities compared to those who simplify their food preparation. Complex cooking involves memory for recipes and techniques, sequencing of multiple tasks, physical coordination for chopping and stirring, and sensory judgment for timing and seasoning that challenge multiple body systems simultaneously. Most seniors gradually simplify their cooking to avoid the physical demands, time requirements, and potential safety hazards of elaborate meal preparation. When you stop cooking challenging recipes, you lose opportunities for cognitive stimulation, physical activity, and the satisfaction of creating something complex and beautiful that nourishes yourself and others. Loss of cooking skills leads to poor nutrition, increased dependence on prepared foods, and loss of an important source of cognitive stimulation and physical activity. When you can't prepare nutritious, varied meals independently, you often rely on processed foods, restaurant meals, or help from others that may not meet your nutritional needs or preferences. Research from Tufts University shows that seniors who stop cooking complex meals have higher rates of malnutrition and faster functional decline because they lose both the physical activity of food preparation and the cognitive challenge of meal planning and execution. You can maintain your culinary skills by cooking one challenging recipe each week that requires multiple techniques, precise timing, or new ingredients you haven't used before. Plan elaborate meals for special occasions or when family visits, pushing yourself to create dishes that require your full attention and skill. Experiment with cuisines from different cultures that challenge you to learn new techniques and flavor combinations while keeping your cooking skills sharp and interesting. Rosa from San Antonio still makes her famous tamales from scratch at 81, a process involving 12 ingredients, precise timing, and complex assembly that keeps her mind and hands sharp. Keep cooking challenging meals because your brain and body need this complex, satisfying activity that integrates so many essential functions. And thing 6, maintaining active social lives and making new friends. When did you last make a genuine new friend, join a new social group, or initiate a meaningful relationship with someone you didn't previously know? Harvard Medical School's longitudinal studies show that fewer than 10% of seniors over 75 actively seek new friendships or join new social organizations, with most relying on existing relationships that gradually diminish due to death, illness, or relocation. The ability to form new social connections requires emotional intelligence, social confidence, and adaptability that many seniors lose as they become more set in their ways and less willing to venture outside their comfort zones. Dr. Robert Waldinger's research found that seniors who continue making new friends show better cognitive function and emotional resilience compared to those who maintain only existing relationships. Most seniors gradually lose social connections and rarely make the effort to form new relationships, becoming increasingly isolated as their original friend groups shrink through natural attrition. The process of making new friends requires putting yourself in unfamiliar social situations, being vulnerable with new people, and maintaining the energy and interest to develop meaningful connections. Many seniors avoid new social situations due to hearing problems, mobility issues, or simple reluctance to start over with new people who don't share their history and experiences. Social isolation accelerates cognitive decline and increases mortality risk by 50%, making new friendship formation a critical health behavior that most seniors neglect. When you stop making new friends, you lose opportunities for intellectual stimulation, emotional support, and shared activities that keep you engaged with life. Research from the University of Michigan shows that socially isolated seniors have inflammation levels comparable to people with serious chronic diseases, weakening their immune systems and accelerating physical decline. The lack of new social connections also limits your exposure to different perspectives, activities, and opportunities that could enrich your remaining years. You can expand your social circle by joining one new activity each month, whether it's a class, volunteer organization, hobby group, or community service project where you'll meet like-minded people. Make an effort to initiate conversations with new people you encounter in daily activities, and follow up with those who seem interesting or compatible. Practice being genuinely curious about others' lives and experiences, asking questions that go beyond superficial pleasantries to build real connections. Walter from Seattle joined a hiking club at 77 and made 5 close friends who keep him active, engaged, and looking forward to new adventures. Expand your social circle immediately, because new relationships are your fountain of youth, providing stimulation, support, and joy that existing relationships alone cannot maintain. Thing 7. Traveling independently to new places. Independent travel after age 75 demonstrates exceptional planning ability, physical stamina, adaptability, and confidence that place you in an elite category of successful agers. Stanford University research shows that travel requires complex integration of cognitive, physical, and emotional capabilities, including route planning, stress management, problem solving, and physical endurance that most seniors find increasingly challenging. The ability to navigate airports, manage luggage, adapt to new environments, and handle unexpected travel disruptions demonstrates resilience and capability that predict successful aging across multiple domains. Dr. Dilip Jesti's studies found that seniors who travel independently maintain better cognitive flexibility and stress tolerance compared to those who limit themselves to familiar environments. Travel after age 75 requires exceptional physical stamina for walking long distances, carrying luggage, and managing the fatigue associated with changing time zones and unfamiliar schedules. Most seniors limit their travel to familiar destinations or avoid travel altogether due to concerns about medical emergencies, medication management, or simply feeling overwhelmed by the complexity of modern travel systems. The logistics of travel become more challenging when you need to manage multiple health conditions, carry various aids or equipment, and navigate accessibility issues that younger travelers don't face. Travel avoidance limits your exposure to new experiences, cultures, and environments that provide cognitive stimulation and personal growth opportunities that become increasingly important for maintaining mental flexibility as you age. When you stop traveling, you miss opportunities for intellectual challenge, social interaction, and the confidence that comes from successfully navigating new situations independently. Research from the Global Coalition on Aging shows that seniors who travel regularly have lower rates of depression and cognitive decline because travel provides novel experiences that stimulate brain function and emotional well-being. You can maintain your travel capabilities by planning one trip quarterly, even if it's just a day trip to a nearby town or attraction you've never visited before. Start with manageable destinations and gradually increase the complexity and distance of your travel as you build confidence in your abilities. Prepare thoroughly for travel by researching destinations, planning for medical needs, and practicing with luggage and travel procedures before departure. Judith from Denver took her first international trip at 78 and discovered she could handle complex travel situations that seemed impossible before she tried. Plan your next adventure now, because travel keeps your mind flexible, your spirit young, and your confidence in your own capabilities strong. Thing 8. Pursuing new hobbies or creative endeavors. Starting new creative pursuits after age 75 indicates remarkable cognitive flexibility, curiosity, and zest for life that researchers associate with the most successful aging outcomes. University of Michigan research shows that learning new creative skills stimulates neuroplasticity and cognitive reserve in ways that protect against age-related mental decline. The willingness to be a beginner again, accept the frustration of learning new skills, and persist through the challenges of mastering unfamiliar techniques demonstrates mental resilience and growth mindset that most seniors abandon. Dr. Gene Cohen's studies found that seniors who engage in new creative activities show improved immune function, better mental health, and increased longevity compared to those who stick to familiar activities. New hobbies and creative endeavors require learning new skills, practicing unfamiliar techniques, and accepting the vulnerability of being inexperienced in areas where others may be expert. Most seniors prefer to engage in activities they've already mastered, rather than risk the frustration and potential embarrassment of being beginners again. The process of learning new creative skills requires sustained attention, working memory, and fine motor coordination that become more challenging with age, leading many seniors to avoid activities that might highlight their limitations. Mental stagnation and lack of novel learning experiences lead to faster cognitive decline, depression, and loss of the intellectual curiosity that makes life engaging and meaningful. When you stop challenging yourself with new learning experiences, your brain loses the stimulation it needs to maintain cognitive flexibility and problem-solving abilities. Research from Johns Hopkins shows that seniors who engage in novel learning activities have measurably thicker brain tissue in areas responsible for memory and executive function compared to those who stick to familiar routines and activities. You can maintain your creative edge by choosing one artistic or creative activity you've never tried before and committing to learning it properly with instruction, practice, and patience with your progress. Set aside time weekly for creative practice, treating it as seriously as you would medical appointments or other important commitments. Join classes or groups where you can learn alongside others and benefit from instruction and social interaction around your new creative pursuit. Frank from Albuquerque started painting watercolors at 80 and now sells his artwork at local galleries, proving that new talents can emerge at any age. Start creating something new today because your brain craves novel challenges to stay young, engaged and growing rather than simply maintaining what you already know. If you're doing most of these 8 remarkable things, you truly are exceptional and represent the top percentage of successful aging in America. These abilities aren't just impressive personal accomplishments. They're scientifically proven predictors of longevity, independence, cognitive health, and quality of life that distinguish you from the majority of your age group. Stella, who I mentioned earlier, embodies what researchers call successful aging. Not just surviving into your 70s and 80s, but thriving with vitality, purpose, and joy that many people decades younger would envy. The difference between exceptional ages and typical ages isn't luck or superior genetics. It's the conscious choice to keep challenging yourself, learning new things, and refusing to accept limitations that others consider inevitable. If you're accomplishing these remarkable things, give yourself the recognition you deserve by hitting that like button, because you've truly earned celebration for your exceptional achievements. Tell me in the comments how many of these 8 things you're still doing and which one makes you most proud of your continued capabilities. Share this with someone in their 70s or 80s who needs to see that exceptional aging is possible and that they might be more remarkable than they realize, because recognition and encouragement can inspire others to maintain or reclaim abilities they thought were gone forever.